All right, in this lecture, we're going to take a little bit to wrap up what we learned from creating this application and adding a field to a model and then adding some fields to a view. And so this is kind of another exercise lecture where I'm going to be extending this application a little bit, and it's going to require you to think a little bit about how to do this yourself, so that you can go into this application and add these few extra things. So one of the things that we need that's not also in our database structure yet is serving size. So if I go over here to Steak and Shake, you'll see that there's a serving size. In this case, they call it 1 skillet. And so there's every item, product, it's going to have different serving sizes. And this one's at 28 grams. So that's a good example because we've already got unit of measure in Odoo. So we really don't need to specify a model for our grams. We're going to link those in. But we do need a serving size for a quantity. We need to be able to say for a product, what is the serving size? We will use the unit of measure to determine the grams. So let's, and for whatever the unit of measure is, but we need to basically have a float field. So we could say, 2.5 grams could be a serving size, for example, or 4.5 ounces might be a serving size. So we want a float value for our serving size. And we also want a date value for last updated, because on these, I think that we probably do have a last updated here. See, updated on, and we can see these last updated values because just because somebody goes in and edits something, that doesn't mean that's for sure when we want to have the updated value. It might be something that on a specific date a product gets new nutrition information, and we want to be able to say that's when it was last updated, so that people can see, if this information is more fresh than another information. So we're going to add those two fields, one, a float value for serving size, and one for last updated. And so my challenge to you is to go into your model and add those two fields. All right, so now pause the video and really try to do this exercise on your own and add these two fields to your model. Now I'm going to do it and see if what I do is close to what you did. I'm going to go nano dietfacts.py to open up our file. I'm going to come down here and just extend it with serving size fields.float. And just so you're aware, this in Python is the same as this. Single quotes or double quotes for these don't matter. They're both fine. So that's our float. Now if you still haven't tried the date one, go ahead and try it. Pause the video. Try to add your own date field. And since we do just want it to be a date, we don't want to confuse people with date time. We'll just call it date, last updated. And you can't mix and match. They have to be the same. If you use single quote on the front, you want to use single quote in the back. These are technically called strings. We're passing them along to here. So that's going to create the place to save them in the model. So let's Control O, save it, Control C, and restart. Now, I do that to know that they got added to the model okay. And we can test that out. We want to look at our model. Okay, so we still got our calories, of course. There's our last updated. And there's our serving size as a float. So our fields are in there. And we've done what we needed to add them to our model. Now, pause the video, and it's for an exercise. See if you can add these two fields to the view. Just add them to the tree view. We're not going to worry about adding them to any other views yet. Just add them to the tree view. See if you're able to do that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead now. If you've pause the video if there's any doubt. Try to do some of these things on your own. Even just opening up the files and editing them and saving them back. The more you do it, the easier it gets. Okay, so I'm going to nano diet facts view R. I can use my up arrow so I don't have to type. If you're a slow typist, that'll save you some time especially. So nano, I open it up. I can come down here. And now, if you haven't already figured it out, now's the time to really think about it. Name equals, and then I'm going to say I have calories. What's the other one? Serving size. And what's the last one? And we'll hit Control to save it. And we come back. Let's go and check out our progress. I didn't restart the server. Okay, so that's a mistake. I caught myself. So I go back, Control C, and restart it that way. Now I'm watching for errors here. Okay, so I'm going to stop it again. I'm just going to show you something. What happens if I mistype that? What happens? Notice here, error details, invalid view definition, last updated to does not exist, error context, product tree. So it's showing me when it breaks, and I will break them through the course of these videos and lectures. There will be times I won't always get it right. I'm showing you how it'll catch you, and then that's your sign to go back in there and clean that view up and then reprocess it. Now all green infos, no errors at all. And I can go back, go to products, serving size, last updated. And notice it's not here though. And so in our next lecture, we're going to see how to add those to the forms. If you're really ambitious, go ahead, try to figure out how to create your own form view and inherit that from the one that we have here, so that you can have these fields that we've added now, last updated, serving size, and calories on the form. So we'll do that in our next lecture. Thanks for watching.